Guys, welcome in right here in the middle on SportsGrid. So great to be with all of you on this Friday. It is in-game live. Kevin Walsh and Gabriel Morency. We're getting off and running here with more NFL preseason action and a weird move, in my opinion, from the NFL tonight. 3 games all kicking off at 7 o'clock here, Gabe. And I am sure you as well, involved with all 3 tonight. I don't know if you're more excited for one more than the other. I am on the over in Jets Bucks 34.5. The under Commanders Dolphins 36.5. Give me the Atlanta Falcons plus 3.5 points at home against the Denver Broncos.
I have a strange NFL exhibition card this evening in which I don't really. It's the preseason, so anything can happen. So I'm not really in a rush to be playing moneyline parlays very much, but I think the odds makers got this right tonight. Sean Payton takes the preseason very seriously, right? He's just a no-nonsense type of dude. The Broncos have been dominant in the preseason since Sean Payton has gotten there, specifically on the defensive side of the football. You look at the Atlanta Falcons, you've got Tua, Penix can't play. They've got a million injuries. I think Denver are going to win the football game, all right? But I'm not really, 3.5, whatever. We saw last night Tennessee ended up covering the number. The odds makers are pretty good when they set the favorites, and they set the favorites for a reason. But I think that Denver are going to win the football game, and I like the under in this game, Kevin. I don't anticipate a ton of points. I don't think Atlanta's going to be able to score very much on Denver. It was 40.5. I think the wise guys agreed. It's come down a little bit, 38.5, 39.5 right now, but we're going to pull the trigger on the under in that football game. Love the Miami Dolphins in this game. Love the Dolphins. If there's a coach, and we talked about this, guys, some of this stuff is random, right? Mike McCarthy's 31-32 or whatever. So in other words, whatever happens, happens. There's no real trend one way or the other. There is with Dan Quinn, right? Dan Quinn's been a coach in the National Football League for a while now, right? On 2 different teams as well. Right? Seattle and Washington. So we're up to 27 preseason games for Dan Quinn. He's won 7 times, Kevin. He clearly does not care. He clearly does not care. That's not by accident. It's the same thing if you're dominant, it's not by accident. So Dan Quinn's 7-20. So the combination here of I know the Washington Commanders really do not care about this football game. And I think the Miami Dolphins come in with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, right? Predicted to be the worst team in the National Football League. New coach wants to get things going, sort of get a winning culture going here a little bit. And I like the quarterback situation with Quinn Ewers and Cam Miller. I've always liked Cam Miller and Quinn Ewers. We know about Quinn. So I think the Dolphins get it done tonight, Kevin. Give me the Dolphins on the money line.
It's interesting, just to your point about kind of the odds makers know what they're doing. Yesterday, underdogs went 5-1 against the number, using that closing number for San Francisco and Tennessee of 6.5. There were only 2 outright upsets, though. You got to push on the money line, Colts, Patriots, and then the Steelers went outright and the Cardinals went outright. Too big of a number in the Cincinnati game. And then,
by the way, Detroit Lions
ended up being too big
with the backdoor cover, baby. Luke Altmaier hung in there. Nice drive, Luke, at the end of the football game. Showed some moxie.
All Cincinnati's fault for the over not coming in. All Cincinnati's fault for not scoring more early in that game. But to say, to your point, Gabe, of just the odds, the odd makers are good making their favorites. Denver's the favorite for a reason. Fair. But dogs covered yesterday. Denver by 3 would not surprise me at all. I know that sounds like more of a regular season take, but we saw it yesterday. Point spreads were mattering in a handful of those games. So that's why I thought getting the hook, it was minus 125. I thought it was worthwhile juice paying here. Everyone's saying, Denver are playing starters. Yeah, except their quarterback. Atlanta are also going to throw some starters out there, guys. I'm not saying Sean Payton doesn't care, but it makes a difference that Bo Nix is not. I think Bo Nix is a good quarterback. I think it makes a difference that Bo Nix is not playing in this game.
I'll make an argument to you, and I don't know if you want to debate this or not, but I think Jarrett Stidham is better than either one of the Atlanta Falcons starting quarterbacks.
So Penix isn't going to play, so it's not super relevant. I do not think that Jarrett Stidham
No, but
is better
I'm
than
talking.
Tua. I think Tua gets a bad
I'm talking in real life. So it's close. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's close.
I think that's a little disrespectful to Tua. He led the NFL in passing yards not all too long ago.
Yeah.
The health stuff is not good. He was awful last season, but there's a reason that Tua is still getting a shot and Jarrett Stidham is where he is. And as somebody who kind of needed Denver to win the AFC last year, Jarrett Stidham's not going to get any love out of me. I'm not going to sing that guy's song.
You know what? I'm going to come out with a hot take. Jarrett Stidham has a longer NFL career than Tua. There's my hot take.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Gabe, I can announce that one might not be a hot take. You might be laying juice on that take.
Like 5 years, so you can say, oh, Jarrett Stidham, whatever. Jarrett Stidham's made about $28 million, going to be in the league for 12 years, all right? Tua made a bunch of money and whatever. You know, I used to defend Tua, all right? I got into it like in the old days. I said Tua was better as good as Herbert is because I think Herbert's overrated, right? And, you know,
he is.
I see a bunch of people like, oh, this is the year for Herbert. Every year's the year for Herbert and the Chargers. I'm a Harbaugh guy, but like, dude, like whatever, bro. I'm old enough to, you know how many times I've heard it's the Chargers year? It's the Bills year every year too, but at least like we actually do something.
Yeah, at least you win playoff games.
Yeah,
at least you win playoff games.
Yeah, like you know what I mean. Like you know, like the Chargers year. It's like, so are you gonna go from zero like to like, you know what I mean? Like you're not even like the Broncos. I believe in the Broncos a lot more than the Chargers.
I couldn't agree more. Justin, no
and then
quarterback in the league gets more of a benefit of the doubt than Justin Herbert.
Yeah, or less blame. Or less blame, Kevin. It's never his fault. Never his fault. In the 7 years, whatever it's been.
Yep.
Oh, no. Remember it was the old coach. What was the guy?
Brandon Staley. He was terrible.
Staley's an idiot. Defense this, that, boom. It's no one ever says, you know what, Herbert, like, has never come back once in his NFL career. Like, you know what I mean? No one's ever said, Herbert was the one that blew that 27-0 lead in the playoffs.
Are playoff games. All of his worst games are playoff games. And yet I'm supposed to believe that he is universes better than Jalen Hurts.
He almost gets tossed. He gets tossed into that like Josh Allen like sort of world.
Yes,
like, you know what I mean? People are like, Mahomes,
quarterback with no results to show
Burrow,
for.
Josh Allen, Justin Herbert. Nah, man. Like if you want to hate on Dak Prescott, hate on Herbert. Like, you know what I mean? You want to hate on
you know what? I'll gladly hate on both. Don't threaten me with a good time. That's right up my alley.
I want to be a Dak guy. I want to be a pro Dak guy.
I'm sure. Here's the thing about Dak, right? It depends where you are in the moment, right? If you're on Dallas, he's throwing it nice. You're a Dak guy. If you're against him, you can't stand him. And if he's costing you money, he's maybe the biggest waste of money in the history of football. It all depends kind of on that given Sunday.
But we do agree.
Feel about him.
So what do we do agree? Like the Herbert shield that the media put up around this kid has been very impressive. He's been untouchable. He's been untouchable. Like ESPN and all these shows hold segments. Is Lamar Jackson's like job on the line? His legacy. Is Jalen Hurts a top 10 quarterback? Jalen Hurts been to 2 Super Bowls. He's won one.
Awesome in both.
But you guys all want to hype up. Oh, it's all right. Justin Herbert's frolicking with his model actress girlfriend on the field because he's Justin Herbert.
Yep.
You imagine, like, if, you know, come on, man.
How
many other quarterbacks did that? Josh could get away with it. But I'll just say, how many black quarterbacks could have done that? People would have flipped. Lamar Jackson's girlfriend, I don't know who Lamar Jackson's girlfriend is. And you know what? I like it that way. I don't need to know. I don't want to know.
I think that's a perfect way to put it.
I don't want to know. Like, I know this new world of, like, Jackson Dart's girlfriend has showed up. Good for you.
Me, Ohtani is the MVP, even if he pitches 15 games a year and that's it. The guy's the best hitter in baseball, or one of them, and pitches, even if it's 15 games a year and he's great, sign me up. I think he still wins, but I think I like the other investments there.
Yeah, I would say we're in total agreement on this. Otani's going to win the award, but that doesn't mean that A, he's a good investment at this point, and B, another player isn't a good investment.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
What Michigan have to play versus Penn State is insane. Like, instead of Big Ten teams worrying about SEC and all that, like, Michigan fans should not be happy about what Matt Campbell gets to walk into. James Franklin's got to be kicking himself. Penn State do not play Oregon, Indiana, or Ohio State. They avoided the entire Big Three of the it's incredible.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
You know, the dark days are ahead for the Warriors. And when Curry and Kerr and Draymond all leave, what are we going to be looking at that franchise that has been a mainstay of the NBA, you know, the face of the NBA and NBA playoffs for so long? Where are they going to be? So I see no issue with them bringing Draymond back. Why not? You have one last go at things with the trio that they still have there. But I see this as a very long season.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Just can't win the big game. He can't get us in the big game. Well, we got to let him go now because we're tired. We'll keep the quarterback. So, you know what I've been saying? Okay, you kept the quarterback. Guess what? Mr. Lamar Jackson, it's on you now.
Hey, absolutely.
It's on you.
Absolutely.
Right? It's on Lamar.
It is. It is totally on him now and the new coaching staff there.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
All right. Atlanta plus 3.5. Not a great start. Jared Stidham completes a 40-yard pass to Cortland Sutton down at the 1. They go fullback style for the touchdown. Adam Prentice is into the end zone. That's 7-0 Denver.
Jared Stidham,
Gabe.
3 for 3, 59 yards. Money. Former Baylor Bear standout.
Off and running. I'm
You know,
rolling
though,
with
kidding aside, I've ripped Stidham in the past. Like, when Stidham was made the starter in the Raiders, I'm like, what are you, insane? He can't be the starting quarterback of the Raiders. But I was going to say this about him, guys. When there's a difference with backup quarterbacks in the NFL. Like, as far as a respect factor. All right? And I look at it as, who's the coach? Who's the coach? Who's a harder, like, you know what I mean? You look at Curtis Rourke, great example. Curtis Rourke, Indiana Hoosiers. His brother plays Nate Rourke in the CFL. Shanahan knows quarterbacks. If he likes you, you're good. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you've been on the Niners as a third string for now 3 years in a row, there's a reason you're hanging around. You look at Jared Stidham, guys. Say what you will about him, but Bill Belichick liked him. They drafted him, right? Josh McDaniels liked him enough to say he's going to be my starting quarterback with the Las Vegas Raiders. Sean Payton kind of knows a thing or two about quarterbacks. Says, yeah, this guy's our backup quarterback. Jared Stidham, he's our backup, right? Not a starter, but arguably the best backup, top premium backup in the National Football League, Kevin, if you really want to analyze it and break it down.
That's interesting.
Who is the best backup quarterback in the NFL?
Well, ironically, it actually should be the Falcons, whichever one of these guys doesn't win the job, right? Like, if you really think about it, it should be Penix or Tua. Flacco
the thing
probably
is, though,
still gets
Penix,
a little bit of love.
Flacco is a nice, not bad. Flacco's had a better career.
With Tanner McKee. They're obsessed with Tanner McKee.
Yeah, they didn't know who he was out of Stanford, so now they're going to be obsessed with him all they want. Like, yeah, he's all right. He's Davis Mills, whatever. Like, are they obsessed with Davis Mills?
No, because he's not an Eagle backup.
It's not an Eagle.
Trubisky leaving Buffalo is like, you want to talk about a guy that never got a second chance. Now, listen, I'm not saying he deserved one. He was awful as a Bear, but
I think that's unfair to say. Actually, they were 12-4.
Yeah, you can be all. I don't think that's actually unfair to say. at all. There's a reason he's not the Bears quarterback anymore. That's
Well,
the game. They were 12-4, and he's gone.
Yeah, but they got worse without him after. It's not like after Trubisky left, they got better. They got worse. And then they went through a bunch of quarterbacks. They didn't get better after.
It wasn't that many before they took Caleb. They had Justin Fields, and then it went to Caleb. It wasn't that
Was
much.
it?
Yeah, it wasn't as long ago as you'd think.
Yeah. But Trubisky, listen, Trubisky doesn't suck, right? He doesn't. There's a lot of those. You know what, actually, when I say the best, I'm not saying Stidham is the best, but I think Stidham is good. He's really good for a preseason game. Because another guy I would throw up there in the same world as Jarrett Stidham is Mason Rudolph.
I agree with that.
Same type of guy. Started games in the NFL. I've been 100%. In the league a long time, 100%. And I'm still here.
Honestly, Rudolph might be the answer because I think Rudolph's better than the current starter on Pittsburgh. So
I wouldn't argue against it. Like, at that point, you're right. Like, why wouldn't you just say if you're a Pittsburgh? Let's just freaking make Mason Rudolph the damn starter, and we'll draft a kid, all right? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to hang on to this one more year because, honestly, like, Aaron throws a nice ball, you know what I mean? But this isn't a Fanatics fan fest, right? You got, like, younger dudes running at you and stuff. So it's not just about, oh, look at the spiral he can still throw. Yeah, he throws a nice spiral. All right. So does Tom Brady. Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, so does, you know what I mean? I bet John Elway can still, like, tear your face off with a football if he wanted to. Right? Yeah. But doesn't mean he can start. Yeah, doesn't mean you're going to start right now. And I'm not comparing fully, but I hear what you're saying. Rudolph got his shot. I think Rudolph really pissed people off with that helmet thing. With Myles Garrett, and what did he really say? Because his own teammates were kind of like, yeah, it was your fault that you got hit in the head with a helmet. Like, you know, but look, he's kind of a weird thing, though, Kevin, with Mason Rudolph. He's one of these guys that, like, you can't get rid of him. So he's obviously pretty good because no coach ever, like, even if he causes problems or it's like, yeah, this or that, or we should bring in someone younger, he's still standing right now. And Aaron Rodgers could get hurt. He could end up playing as well.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me in the slightest. There's a couple of teams.
The Bills' backup sucks. Kyle Allen, that's not good.
No.
We have Shane Buechele and Kyle Allen. Like, the Bills are one of these.
Was Kyle Allen the one who ruined the Bengals season last year? Who was the guy that Cincinnati convinced themselves was going to be okay, and he threw about a gazillion interceptions and ruined the Cincinnati season? Oh, that was bad. I was a Bengals guy last season, Gabe.
See, he's another one. He's got a hot girlfriend. See, why I shouldn't know what the backup quarterback's girlfriend looks like, but when he started, she started posting a million pictures and showing up every day, right?
Jake Browning led the Cincinnati Bengals in interceptions last season. I want you to think about that for a second. He led the Cincinnati Bengals in interceptions last year.
How many games did he play? That should not be possible.
6? 5. 5. That should not be possible.
That's pretty hard to do.
You
know what? And he's still the backup, Kevin. That's what I'm saying.
No, he's gone now. No, they finally got rid of him. With Flacco, because that's why they left Flacco in Cincinnati.
He's hurt, though. He's still on the roster. I'm pretty sure he's still on the roster. He just didn't play last night because he's hurt. Yeah. He's hurt.
Jake Browning, man. Maybe Jake Browning would have got me some preseason points if he was on Cincinnati. I don't think he is.
You are right, though. You're right. See, I was right and wrong. He didn't play last night because he was hurt. Or it's tonight he's not playing because he's hurt. Sorry, I'm all confused. He's on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers now. He's on Tampa now.
Yep.
He's on Tampa. You stay.
It's a good thing we got nothing to do with him here in this Tampa New York game coming up.
Yeah,
Jets are about to kick a field goal, by the way.
Yeah, no, the thing is, if Browning would have played, I might have been interested. Like, who's this? Who started? Bazelak?
Yeah. Don't worry. Points are going to come in that game. That game's going to open up. Don't give up on it now, all right? Points are going to open up in that game.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get points from Tampa, bro. Like, that's, I hope, like.
We're going to hit a break. We didn't get to the biggest game on the slate tonight. Yankees, Blue Jays.
Oh, Yankee. I know you're going to say UC Irvine versus Jordan.
For me, Ohtani is the MVP, even if he pitches 15 games a year and that's it. The guy's the best hitter in baseball, or one of them, and pitches, even if it's 15 games a year and he's great, sign me up. I think he still wins, but I think I like the other investments there.
Yeah, I would say we're in total agreement on this. Ohtani's going to win the award, but that doesn't mean that A, he's a good investment at this point, and B, another player isn't a good investment.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
What Michigan have to play versus Penn State is insane. Like, instead of Big Ten teams worrying about SEC and all that, like, Michigan fans should not be happy about what Matt Campbell gets to walk into. James Franklin's got to be kicking himself. Penn State do not play Oregon, Indiana, or Ohio State. They avoided the entire Big Three of the it's incredible.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
You know, the dark days are ahead for the Warriors. And when Curry and Kerr and Draymond all leave, what are we going to be looking at that franchise that has been a mainstay of the NBA, you know, the face of the NBA and NBA playoffs for so long? Where are they going to be? So I see no issue with them bringing Draymond back. Why not? You have one last go at things with the trio that they still have there. But I see this as a very long season.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Just can't win the big game. He can't get us in the big game. Well, we got to let him go now because we're tired. We'll keep the quarterback. So, you know what I've been saying? Okay, you kept the quarterback. Guess what? Mr. Lamar Jackson, it's on you now.
Hey,
It's on you.
Absolutely.
Right? It's on Lamar.
It is. It is totally on him now and the new coaching staff there.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
Okay, guys, back right here on SportsGrid. Just want to do a quick score update. Jets made that field goal. Devon Achane with an opening drive touchdown. 7 carries for 39 yards and a score. You know, I know the other day Gabe was saying they're not going to give him the ball 70 times. He won't last. The second part might be true. But they're going to give the ball to Devon Achane a ton. Here's my comparison for Devon Achane. Carolina Panthers, Christian McCaffrey. That's the type of production that a healthy Achane, I believe, will give the Miami Dolphins this season, Gabe.
I was almost going to compare him to C.J. Spiller. And it's not a fair comparison because C.J. was okay, but he wasn't what Achane has been in the National Football League. But I just remember the Bills said, we're going to give C.J. Spiller like 35 carries a game. And after like 17 of them, he was throwing up on the sideline. Like he couldn't do it, right? So we'll see if Achane can stay on the field. It's not easy when you're a running back, right? Because you're getting hit. But I am a big Achane fan. I'm a big Achane prop better, obviously. But this is like the polar opposite of last night, Kevin. All 3 of our games were winning early. Last night, it was all like, all right, we're down, but don't worry, a lot of football left. You know what I mean? And for the record, we did well last night. We gave it the Lions to cover the point spread. They did. Gave it the Colts on the money line. I feel smart about that, Kevin. I didn't do the 1.5. I did the money line, and we got the push. I think we went 3-1, 3-1-1 last night. But anyway, so we're on the Dolphins money line tonight, 7-0 Dolphins. We're on the Jets parlayed money line with the Denver Broncos. Broncos up 7-0 on the Falcons and 3-0 early for the Jets. And we got the WNBA game coming up here too. But yeah, Kevin, we got football fever here. I was looking forward to your take on this. The Yankees and the Blue Jays. Bieber hasn't been good, so he's hard to trust. He really hasn't been that good. But it's such a big damn game and series here. Like, what did you do with the game?
So I played the under 8. Garrett Cole's starting to round into form if you look at his last few games here. So that's obviously a big part of it. I think it's why the Yankees were pretty decent favorites. We've talked about Toronto a lot. They're playing decent baseball. I don't think it's nothing to be bigger than minus 140 in Toronto right now. And you're right. Look, Shane Bieber, not the most reliable guy, but he can be streaky. Right? Let me just take his last 4 starts here. 1 earned run, 4 earned runs, 1 earned run, 5 earned runs. So I'm hoping I get a good Shane Bieber tonight, and I played the under 8. I think the Yankees win the game? Yes, but this is kind of the spot I find myself in now more often than not, where, yeah, I think the Yankees are going to win the game, but as much or less than the actual sports books do. They're pricing this Yankees team very strongly, I feel now, every single time we're live here. And I don't play Yankees money line, I feel like, as much as maybe people would be anticipating.
You look at the history. What's the history with these teams? The recent history between the two of them. Blue Jays have taken 3 of the last 5. All right, but the Yankees have won the last 2. I bring this up only because the Blue Jays play well against good teams, right? They put themselves kind of in a position this year by losing to teams that they should have beaten earlier. But, they step up against the Red Sox. They stepped up against the Phillies, right? They took 2 or 3 against the Phillies. They took 3 or 4 against the Red Sox. They competed with the Astros. So, and, I was watching Toronto media earlier in the day, a preview of this game, and they were talking about that, about how the Blue Jay players kind of are different when the Red Sox and Yankees come to town. Like basically they were saying you wouldn't know what their record is and stuff. There's a playoff sort of feel around the team right now. Ironically enough, because I get every Blue Jay game. I'm not really a Blue Jay fan. I just see every damn game. So, and I lived in Toronto too. So I like to see them do well, but I don't lose sleep if they don't. So it's one of those type of deals. But ironically, this game is one of the Apple games tonight. It's not on TV. So I was just flicking around. I'm like, I'm like, where's the J game? I was clicking around, Kevin. I'm like, why do I have Baltimore and Tampa on 5 channels? And then I remembered, I'm like, oh, that's right. The Blue Jays are on Apple tonight.
Oh, that means I got to be able to get it on. It's funny.
Because somebody just sent me an angry post saying I spent $250 for Rogers cable and I can't even get their damn baseball game.
I don't get a lot of, it's one of the difficult things with the MLB package is you get the local blackouts, except it kind of expands far and wide. So I can't watch where I am. My local team game is actually the Philadelphia Phillies.
That's
but
wild.
I'm still too close to the Yankees to get Yes Network.
Well, that's why you were so defensive of them when I said Wheeler and the Phillies suck.
Yeah. No, I told you. Again, I watch more Phillies baseball than Yankees baseball these days.
Because where are the Phillies right now in the playoffs? They got their own problems, don't they?
They're better than the Jays. Hey, guys, quickly, pause the football. Going to rip this Fever Wings game. Great game. Really excited for this one tonight. The other night, I faded Dallas, laying a big number to Toronto. Tonight, I'm going to back the Wings. Getting 8.5 here against Indiana. Look, the Fever coming off a great performance against the Liberty. They seem super up when they play that team. I think Dallas will be up for this game against Indiana. I understand the absence of Shepard and Fudd still remains, but I think it's a lot of points here tonight, guys. I think maybe the books are overreacting to them not covering against a tempo team who are up for that matchup. So kind of a zigzag spot. Faded the Wings last time they played a game. Tonight, I'm going to take them plus the points in Indiana. What are you doing with this game?
One thing I like about the WNBA is, for compared to other leagues, it really does kind of live up to their trends, and teams really are who they are. And if you follow it, and we're going to go right back to it once again. Kelsey Mitchell, over 2.5 made threes. Now, it is up to minus 180 right now, but still, I mean, she's hit this in basically 19 of the last 21 games, like basically every game. In their last game, she hit this basically in the first quarter, or whatever. It was like she started the game 3 for 3, and it was all right. Boom, we already hit the bet. So I'm doing it again. It is minus 180, guys, but Kelsey Mitchell over 2.5 made threes, and even with the injuries, Kevin, I can't resist betting over 185.5 in this game. Got to go over the number.
Yeah, I don't blame you, man. When the Fever are on the streak that they've been on, 100 points. With some level of consistency, it's hard to do anything other than play the total in that direction. As I've told you, I think I'm almost keeping bullets in the chamber for Tuesday. Fever tempo, my most anticipated basketball.
Me and Kevin are the only people, like literally in the world. I don't even say that exaggerating. Maybe there's like one other degenerate or something. Yeah. That like, how many people are actually, like that GIF, like when the dude's in bed with his girlfriend. Sure, he's thinking about girls. You know what I mean?
Yep, absolutely.
It's one of those. It's true. Like you're lying in bed next to your wife, and honey, what are you thinking about? Nothing really. Like, and you're really thinking, I wonder what that tempo Fever total was going to be. Like, could be 195? Because I said 193.5, 194.5. Kevin says a little higher. I'm, either way, but we're getting to 200 in this game. We're going to crack 200.
Yeah. Absolutely positive.
I like the fact, too, that the tempo have been off, Kevin, since that road trip for this game, too.
Perfect.
Right? They're back in Toronto. They're excited for this. You know what I mean? It's in the bigger arena. The tempo do well, but they have their own arena. I don't know. It's like 8,000 or whatever it is, 9,000. And but they're playing this in like where the Leafs and Raptors play. So there's going to be like 21,000 people there. The tempo are going to be fired up for this. And points. And then the tempo are in a weird spot flying to the West Coast, right, to play Portland and Las Vegas next Friday and Sunday in Vancouver.
The WNBA night game tonight is Seattle and Portland. We'll get to that a little bit later, see if there's anything that stands out for Gabe. Just
I got one baseball
Atlanta.
Play in game here. Speaking of Atlanta, I like the under 8. We didn't get to it. It started boom, but it's 8.5 now. I still like it. Arizona up 1-0, so I got it in 8.5 under 8.5. Brendan Fatt has been really good for Arizona. I got Chris Sale going for Atlanta. I don't know where the 9 runs are coming from in this baseball game. Give me under 8.5 in game.
It's so funny, Gabe, but that one put my mind in a blender a little bit because I saw the 8 and I went, now, hold on a minute. Sale, Fatt's been good. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll play Atlanta, but then they were like minus 200. I'm like, you know what? There's something about this that just wasn't adding up for me. And I was like, I'm getting out of here. And so Arizona's
there's a lot of baseball games like that.
First inning.
And it made you feel better, probably. You're like, oh, they scored all right. But like me, I saw they scored. I'm like, oh, good. I'm getting 8.5 now. So I was like, I didn't get it in. I'm like, all right, because I do think it'll slow down. Sometimes, I'll sort of get perplexed by baseball, and other times I'm like, don't overthink it. I mean, Brendan Fatt over the last, 3 games, 20 innings, guy's giving up 1 or 2 runs or something. You got Chris Sale. I was like, I just don't know. If someone gets to 9, God bless them.
I wanted to just bring this up quickly because we spend a lot of time, understandably, debating if the Blue Jays are going to make the playoffs. The Detroit Tigers have jumped the Texas Rangers in the American League wildcard standings. And the Detroit Tigers tonight are in a spot here against the White Sox where they should have big stomachs, man. And they should be asking themselves, can we go grab this division that we were supposed to win?
And they're winning 3-1.
It's a big game. It's a big
It would be the biggest
game.
flex ever to trade Skubal and then win the division.
And I can't stress as much as it's staring at me like the Green Goblin mask to tell Gabe, once they got rid of Skubal, everything's been better. But I think Gabe's been suggesting that more than me. It's not about that.
I don't deny it.
But Detroit, Gabe, were so much better than their record that eventually, in the way we talk about teams getting on streaks, Gabe, they have the best run differential in the entire American League. Yankees,
That's wild.
Red Sox, Rays.
Plus 90 right now.
The whole American League.
Although, damn, Kevin, how bad is the American League that only 3 teams have a plus run differential?
Gabe, how about the fact that the 3 best run differentials are the 3 wild card teams? Nobody has a positive run differential in the American League.
Even National League, 6 teams in the NL. Sorry. So I'm looking actually. So three in the wild cards here. So 6 in the wild card standings right now.
It's 5 total in the American League.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. Look at the Dodgers, plus 141.
Yeah.
Milwaukee, plus 131. The Cubs, plus 111. Atlanta, plus 124. It's when you know you're a real team. It's like,
look at the last place Pittsburgh Pirates at plus 25, trying to figure out how that happened.
How about the Toronto Blue Jays? Minus 61.
That's what I've been
minus 61. But they're 2 games out. They are 2 games out now only.
I know.
Listen, I looked yesterday, and it was down to plus 460 to make the playoffs. Now, I didn't bet it because I was like, you know what? I don't think they're not going to sweep 4 on the Red Sox. That's tough.
Yeah.
So even though I bet the Jays, I was like, all right, if I take the Jays and they don't win, it'll pop back up to 500 again or whatever. But people are starting to buy into this Jays team. I'm not the only one that are people that are noticing that, oh, by the way, the Jays are only 2 out now suddenly.
Yeah, they're playing better baseball. And, like I said, I didn't play any Yankees money line tonight because I respect when those teams lock horns. I expect it to be a very good game. Let's get a touchdown update here. Jets, 10-0. Braylon Allen came in and looked absolutely fantastic. A 31-yard run that caps off this drive into the end zone. It's 10-0 Jets here, Gabe. And I think they're live 14.5-point favorites. That's a little wild to me.
Wow.
I'm not running to bet Tampa Bay, but you're getting 14.5 with the football.
I did it with the Niners last night, getting the 10.5.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Worked out well.
It's like, you're getting those extra points really come into play here. It's a lot of points to be laying. Because we saw it last night with the Detroit Lions as well. Even if a team really isn't into it because it starts at the top, right? So the coach's intensity level and it sort of trickles down and, how intense was it in practice, etc. But we saw last night with the Lions, it was bad. Like, they were fumbling handoffs, like they couldn't tackle. It was bad. And then Campbell got mad, and you could sort of see, like, the Lions, they started scoring, and the mood completely changed, and suddenly they were into the game. So we'll see if, like, Tampa gets that. Hey, this is pretty embarrassing. We're losing 10-0 now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm always in the belief, Kevin, if you're going to show up, you might as well play. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
That's what bothers me about the League's Cup stuff with the Whitecaps. It's like, well, you played Mueller for 28 minutes and you kind of tried, but you didn't. It's like, well, if we're going to do this, either bench everybody or play everybody. You know what I mean, Kevin? Like, don't do in between. Yeah.
I hear you.
For me, Ohtani is the MVP, even if he pitches 15 games a year and that's it. The guy's the best hitter in baseball, or one of them, and pitches, even if it's 15 games a year and he's great, sign me up. I think he still wins, but I think I like the other investments there.
Yeah, I would say we're in total agreement on this. Ohtani's going to win the award, but that doesn't mean that A, he's a good investment at this point, and B, another player isn't a good investment.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
What Michigan have to play versus Penn State is insane. Like, instead of Big Ten teams worrying about SEC and all that, like, Michigan fans should not be happy about what Matt Campbell gets to walk into. James Franklin's got to be kicking himself. Penn State do not play Oregon, Indiana, or Ohio State. They avoided the entire Big Three of the it's incredible.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
You know, the dark days are ahead for the Warriors. And when Curry and Kerr and Draymond all leave, what are we going to be looking at that franchise that has been a mainstay of the NBA, you know, the face of the NBA and NBA playoffs for so long? Where are they going to be? So I see no issue with them bringing Draymond back. Why not? You have one last go at things with the trio that they still have there. But I see this as a very long season.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Just can't win the big game. He can't get us in the big game. Well, we got to let him go now because we're tired. We'll keep the quarterback. So, you know what I've been saying? Okay, you kept the quarterback. Guess what? Mr. Lamar Jackson, it's on you now.
Hey,
It's on you.
Absolutely.
Right? It's on Lamar.
It is. It is totally on him now and the new coaching staff there.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
Okay, guys, back right here on SportsGrid. Jared Stidham still ripping lasers for Denver. And, you know, it's not necessarily that I thought Stidham was going to be awful in this game, but I was kind of making the point, hey, like, Atlanta's going to throw Tua. And a combination of offensive line and a combination of Tua looking like he did last season, he's been bad. He's completed 3 passes, all of them to Kyle Pitts, pretty much all of them underneath. And they've only run the ball twice, really, in this football game with Brian Robinson Jr. It's just been very uninspiring from Atlanta here. They're shut out in the opening quarter. Very likely going to be the same for both Tampa
Just
and
for the
Washington
record,
as well.
Just for the record, I was wondering who said at the top of this program, I don't expect Atlanta to score very much tonight. If you're just joining us, that was my quote
Probably
to
was
start
me.
this program.
Probably was me, if I had to guess. Probably was me.
I bet the under. The under in this game. So I put my money where my mouth was, and Denver marched right down the field and scored a touchdown. But there's been nothing since. Denver with the football right now going into the second quarter with the rock at midfield right now. 7-0 for the Dolphins, although Washington are on the move at midfield. A big 3rd and 3 coming up. I don't know if it's a big 3rd and 3, but it's a 3rd and 3. And New York Jets are up 10-0 on the Bucks. I say big, Kevin, because I'm on the Dolphins. Let's get a stop. I don't care if it's a preseason or not. I tell you what, like, the sports book doesn't, like, differentiate. The money is the same.
Yeah.
And well, I got something else to get off my chest as well here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I you can tell it's coming. I'm not throwing anyone individually under the bus here, okay? Because a lot of people do it. Whatever. I'm in the minority of this. But I see a lot like, I saw somebody like posting last night. And they had a bunch of sort of preseason info and stats and stuff. And they said, yeah, but I don't really bet that much into preseason, smaller units because it's a preseason. And I thought to myself, so yeah, because you win 90% of the time in the regular season, right? Like, what's the difference? Like, because the players are playing, it doesn't mean you're going to win more. A handicap is a handicap. Whether it's a CFL game, an Arena Football League game, whatever, right? A bet is a bet. You might think, right? You might think you know more. You know what I mean? Maybe you care more, right? Like, a good example is like, let's say you're a casual Buffalo Bill fan. You're not going to get mad tomorrow if they lose the game. You'll get upset if they lose the game to Houston in a couple of weeks, the first game of the year. The sportsbook's going to pay you either way, right? Like whether the Bills are trying more doesn't mean they're going to win. They never win in Houston. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, oh, they're trying more. There's like a urban sort of gambling tale about the guy from the old days that calls his bookie Monday Night Football and loses. Tuesday night calls the bookie, bets some NBA, loses. Wednesday night calls, bets some NHL hockey, loses. Thursday night calls and the bookie says, yeah, listen, there's only WNBA basketball tonight. The guy says, I'm not going to bet at WNBA basketball. What the hell do I know about WNBA basketball?
Mm-hmm.
You just lost 3 nights in a row betting the sport you thought you knew so well. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like this whole like, oh, like what, you think it's easier to win in the regular season? It's actually easier handicap in the preseason. It's harder to win a regular season NFL bet than it is a preseason NFL bet.
The willingness, though, Gabe, and you know this, to put in the work, and I, by the way, and I'm saying that this is how it should be. People do know more about Bills Texans week 1 than they do Bills Panthers. Now, turning that into a successful night is a different story.
It becomes harder, though, because both the Texans and Bills are equally trying. So suddenly it becomes a harder handicap. Like, put it this way. I wouldn't love the Denver Broncos in week 1, -3.5 on the road in Atlanta in a regular season game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't be like, oh, yeah, there's no way. And the way I looked at this, I was like, yeah, Atlanta aren't even going to score on them tonight. Like, right? Like, to me, like I said, it's sort of a, people don't want to put as much money on a preseason, or they think they know the regular season more. But my point is, you really don't know the regular season more. That's my point. Just because the players are trying more doesn't mean and in fact, it's a harder handicap in the regular season. Put it this way.
Same point, Gabe.
If my point wasn't right, Kevin and everybody, the limits for an NFL preseason game are much smaller than a regular season game.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And why is that?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that, everyone? The book knows. Yeah. The book knows. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We could get crushed. Regular season, it's 50-50. The point spread is going to be bang on. Either team can win. We don't care what side people bet. Preseason, they know. Man, there could be some sharp people that are going to crush us with this if they did their homework. So they have limits. Like if preseason was like harder, if preseason, I'm just for the casuals out there, and this isn't an argument to you, Kevin, like if preseason football was harder to bet and trickier to bet, like a lot of the casuals say and think it is, the sports books would send you a limousine. They would give you free hotel rooms. They'd say, bet away, man, on the preseason. Well, no limits. No limits. Right? No. There's a reason why they're like, no. We're not going to bet you.
Well, because
you can only bet $2,000 on this.
They don't like to be at an information deficit, right? Where even if they don't prefer.
So you just nailed it.
You just nailed it. I don't disagree with you, but I want to make this point though, because I would like to believe that when this happens, you're on my side. You know what I really can't stand? When the Super Bowl comes around and people in our business get real highbrow and go,
oh, say I don't bet the Super Bowl just because it's the Super Bowl?
Are you betting a Super Bowl prop on Super Bowl Sunday? Yeah, get real, okay? Wake up.
Yeah.
That's what people are here for. Gabe, if by chance you and I are working NFL Super Bowl Sunday together and I go, Gabe, got to be honest, don't love the game, you would be right to yell at me for 4 hours. That's not, no, man. No, you bet it responsibly. You do your best. So I understand. Here's the thing. You also, though.
The other one, too, I don't like.
Hey, don't bring everybody into your pool. You know what I mean? You're the number one degenerate. No one else is going to bet preseason in CFL like you. You rule that world. No one else is going to do what you do.
All-Star games are another good one.
For me, Ohtani is the MVP, even if he pitches 15 games a year and that's it. The guy's the best hitter in baseball, or or one of them, and pitches, even if it's 15 games a year and he's great, me up. I think he still wins, but I think I like the other investments there.
Yeah, I would say we're in total agreement on this. Ohtani's going to win the award, but that doesn't mean that A, he's a good investment at this point, and B, another player isn't a good investment.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
What Michigan have to play versus Penn State is insane. Like, instead of Big Ten teams worrying about SEC and all that, like, Michigan fans should not be happy about what Matt Campbell gets to walk into. James Franklin's got to be kicking himself. Penn State do not play Oregon, Indiana, or Ohio State. They avoided the entire Big Three of the it's incredible.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
You know, the dark days are ahead for the Warriors. And when Curry and Kerr and Draymond all leave, what are we going to be looking at that franchise that has been a mainstay of the NBA, you know, the face of the NBA and NBA playoffs for so long? Where are they going to be? So I see no issue with them bringing Draymond back. Why not? You have one last go at things with the trio that they still have there. But I see this as a very long season.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Just can't win the big game. He can't get us in the big game. Well, we got to let him go now because we're tired. We'll keep the quarterback. So, you know what I've been saying? Okay, you kept the quarterback. Guess what? Mr. Lamar Jackson, it's on you now.
Hey,
It's on you.
Absolutely.
Right? It's on Lamar.
It is totally on him now in the new coaching staff there.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
The saying, I believe, is careful what you wish for. I do realize I just opened myself up for quite the frustrated co-host when he asks me, what am I betting on that Thursday Division II slate? And I'm like, I'm a little more focused on the baseball. I am aware that I now really do have to crack it.
Yeah, you set yourself up. Now you're like, oh, damn. I'm going to have picks for like that Eastern Michigan Buffalo game now because Brett's going to call me out now.
Like, I now have to figure out the Elon Glenville State game.
Listen, there's different ways of approaching this. Like, and listen, you want to make money, but this is also entertainment as well, right? You're having fun watching these games. But one thing I like, so you have the CFL, you got NFL preseason now. We have college football coming back in basically 2 weeks. You know, we're 2 Thursdays away from college football now. There's going to be like 150 football games a week combined with the 3 leagues. You throw in the Major League Baseball playoffs and stuff. We can't bet every game, Kevin. We say that, and I still end up with too much action. You know what I mean? We can't bet every game, right? But like we got to isolate sort of like the WNBA. Like, dude,
Gabe, so far you have bet every preseason game, right?
I hate to admit it, but yeah, it's, I'd like to say it's because we're on the air. I'm trying to provide a service for the people, but you're right. We've given a pick for every, and I bet every game. Yeah. So far, so good. We're 4-2-1 in the preseason.
There you go.
We're keeping track.
Your Broncos pick looks great. Cooper Rush came in and made Tua look like a league MVP. Like
he's their best quarterback. If they started Cooper, they might have a chance.
Yeah, well, that's what I thought. Gabe, that was
I'm
one
not
of the
a
reasons I
Stefanski guy either. And then I had someone tweet me, Stefanski's a 2-time coach of the year. I'm like, how? Who the hell would vote that guy to be coach of the year?
But you should have told me that someone tweeted you that. If anybody bet the Falcons because Stefanski won 2 coach of the years, now see that's information I need. That's a bad process. Now that's someone, Gabe, who should have waited a week 1. That's someone who should have waited a week 1. Come on, man.
No, I'm not saying they bet on him. I'm not saying that. I don't know. I don't know if they bet on him tonight. I was ripping Stefanski last week online, and I had a couple of Stefanski defenders calling me an idiot, saying, "Well, you're saying he's a 2-time coach of the year?" I'm like, all right. So what? The media are a bunch of morons, and I'm supposed to bow to them? I don't care. Like, good
there
for
was
him.
one-
Like, I mean, good for you. Like, I mean, that's like,
it's whatever. The coach of the year stuff's silly anyway, for the most part. Mike Vrabel
Really
shouldn't have won
is.
coach of the year last year. Should have been Mike McDonald in a route, by the way. In a route. But
I've never
Patriots
seen someone throw a challenge flag as hard as Mike Vrabel did last night, though.
Set himself up. Should have known he was going to get memed. Every meme that came his way.
Oh, yeah,
was
you're
deserved.
walking into,
I'm
like,
not gonna-
you know,
yeah,
even
yeah.
like, he just walked in. Whatever he does now, though, it's just going to be that.
Exactly.
He was supposed to go to counseling, right? I'm sure he went. Wink, wink. So he was supposed to go to like some sort of, I don't know, like
day 3 of the NFL draft, right? That was his deal.
Yeah, whatever. But somebody asked him about it in the media yesterday. A woman said, "Coach, you talked about going to counseling. How's the counseling gone for you? And can you share anything about it?" He goes, "Well, we're all trying to make ourselves better. And I was just talking to our offensive line about like being on the same page together." Like, he totally, and it was like, dude, like, you're not going to be able to do this every conference. Like, you're going to have to at some point just say, listen, I'm not talking about my personal life. The conference went well. The counseling went well, you know, and that's that. But it is funny that he walked right into this, and he will walk right into it repeatedly. A lot of people thought, Kevin, they wouldn't put the Patriots on the first game of the year because of that.
There was that thought, but I think the Super Bowl rematch was too. It's a Super Bowl rematch, right? Like, you got to take that when you can get it, in my opinion.
I don't like this game. It was a boring Super Bowl.
I'm very annoyed that it's on a Wednesday because I prefer to be. Again, the
That's
NFL.
right. For people who don't know,
Before.
We're starting on a Wednesday this year.
People think I'm kidding about this, but I've
and
been
then
saying
there's
it for
Thursday
years.
football as well, but it's in
Just
Australia.
I just want to make this point quickly, okay? Because a lot of the people who don't like the NBA think they can get real, again, puff their chest out. Ha ha. The NFL stole their day, okay? Be careful what you wish for. Because I am telling you right now, there is too much NFL on. And people think there's no such thing, and yes, there is. And what's going to happen is by the time we get to that Thanksgiving night game, your eyes are going to gloss over. And by the time you get to a Black Friday Denver Bronco game, you're not betting because you're over.
For me, Ohtani is the MVP, even if he pitches 15 games a year and that's it. The guy's the best hitter in baseball, or one of them, and pitches, even if it's 15 games a year and he's great, sign me up. I think he still wins, but I think I like the other investments there.
Yeah, I would say we're in total agreement on this. Ohtani's going to win the award, but that doesn't mean that A, he's a good investment at this point, and B, another player isn't a good investment.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
What Michigan have to play versus Penn State is insane. Like, instead of Big Ten teams worrying about SEC and all that, like, Michigan fans should not be happy about what Matt Campbell gets to walk into. James Franklin's got to be kicking himself. Penn State do not play Oregon, Indiana, or Ohio State. They avoided the entire Big Three of the it's incredible.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
You know, the dark days are ahead for the Warriors. And when Curry and Kerr and Draymond all leave, what are we going to be looking at that franchise that has been a mainstay of the NBA, you know, the face of the NBA and NBA playoffs for so long? Where are they going to be? So I see no issue with them bringing Draymond back. Why not? You have one last go at things with the trio that they still have there. But I see this as a very long season.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Just can't win the big game. He can't get us in the big game. Well, we got to let him go now because we're tired. We'll keep the quarterback. So, you know what I've been saying? Okay, you kept the quarterback. Guess what? Mr. Lamar Jackson, it's on you now.
Hey,
You told you.
Absolutely.
Right? It's on Lamar.
It is totally on him now and the new coaching staff there.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
Okay, guys, back to the right here on SportsGrid. Kevin Walsh, Gabriel Morency, following the football in the National Football League. 17-0 Broncos Falcons. Great call by Gabe.
17.
They are smashing this team. It is ugly,
Jarrett
ugly,
Stidham,
ugly.
8 of 11 for 130 yards.
Yep, throws a touchdown pass here. So things look good for Denver. You've got a 10-3 New York Jets lead. And then it looks like the Commanders are going to grab a field goal back off of Miami. Gabe, we do have some more football on, though. CFL, I believe this show here, In Game Live, the number one spot for these CFL picks. You could also say at Sports Rage is really the number one spot, but we've got them right here. So, Gabe, what do you like tonight in the CFL?
Well, we gave 6 picks last night, and we went 4-2. And the 2 losses were touchdown score props, right? We gave 4 touchdown score props. We won 2 of them. And our side was right. The total we've been very good with our creative same game parlays. So, Kevin, a very interesting game tonight. We have the 0-8 Ottawa Red Blacks, only winless team in the CFL. 0-8 in action. They are 3-5 against the spread, though. I should note they were 0-6 and 3-3 against the spread, right? So now they're 3-5. They're 4-4 to the over on the season. Winnipeg are 4-4, but they're only 3-5 against the spread. They're 1-4 straight up at home. They haven't been a great home team this year, which is weird because they have big attendance. They're they're the most popular team in the league, actually. They have the best fan base. So somewhat surprising. I know, Kevin, a couple of weeks ago you wanted to get, we said, let's get cocky here. I don't know where they're going to hang around, right? Ottawa. Maybe they don't win, but they cover. Mm-hmm. I feel it this week. Last week, they were kind of hanging around, and the game got away from them. They lost 42-20. Montreal beat them 34-13, but whatever. Montreal beat everybody, so you can't hold that against them. They actually played Montreal tough earlier, 37-35. They played against Winnipeg in Ottawa on July 19th. They lost 36-34. I think this is an over bet, guys. All right? So I think, the best bet in this game, I do think we're going to get 57 points. It's 56.5. We're going to get there. There's going to be points scored in this football game tonight. Zach Collaros is back at QB, former Cincinnati Bearcat quarterback. He was the quarterback when Travis Kelce was there, actually. Longtime CFL vet. He's been out for the last 4 weeks. This is his first game back. Winnipeg don't blow people out, guys. They don't. Like I said, they played Ottawa earlier this year, 37-35, 36-34, whatever, 37-35. You got to figure that a broken clock is right, it's right twice a day, that this is the game. And I'm seeing Ottawa warm up right now, and I like their look. There's no fake, they don't look happy. You know what I mean, Kevin? You can tell, it's what are you all smiling about and stuff? You're 0-8. They look like a miserable bunch. I like it. Their coach looks miserable. They're all in a circle right now. No one is smiling. Winnipeg are pretty serious, too. Zach Claro's getting fired up. They know that this is a big game, but give me the Ottawa Red Blacks plus the points tonight. Give me the underdog plus the points tonight. Plus 7.5 points. Ottawa plus the 7. Let's go over the number in this football game. 57.5 right now, so son of a gun, they started to bet it up. 57.5 right now. As far as our same game parlay, Ottawa Red Blacks plus 17.5, over 49.5. So we're getting 17.5, over 49.5, minus 145.
That's
Only
nice.
2 touchdown score props for everybody here. Nick Dembski, wide receiver, Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Nick Dembski, plus 110. And let's go with Justin Hardy, wide receiver of the Ottawa Red Blacks. And I only gave a few picks to be nice to the graphics guys, but I got more. I'm going to play some quarterback props here. Jake Mayer. Jake Mayer's passing yard prop is 315.5. They don't really run the ball, Ottawa. They're always trailing. They're always behind. He throws for 1 million yards now. Remember, we've been giving this. McKinnis gave this a couple of weeks ago, went over. Let's do it again. Let's not overthink this. And it's also a little of insurance, too. If they don't cover or whatever, he can still go over to 315.5. Right? They throw a lot, Ottawa. It's a lot of dink and dunk, quick hit stuff, this offense. So it's almost too much quick hit stuff. That's the problem. They can't stretch the field. but they do throw a lot. So let's go Jake Mayer over 315.5 passing yards as well.
Amazing. And again, this is kind of why, I know everybody wants the picks. Gabe pretty much has too many for the graphic, guys. We'll reset those again before kickoff between Winnipeg and Ottawa tonight. So a little CFL action. We've got NFL action out here as well. The Miami Dolphins starting offense with a really nice opening drive. Quinn Ewers has since come in and been absolutely miserable. A really interesting college career for Quinn Ewers, Gabe. You and I weren't at the time doing the show together. Were you somebody who thought that Ewers leaving college was the right move? There's a lot of rumors that Michigan State maybe were going to offer him big money. He played more than anybody would really remember last season for the Miami Dolphins. Obviously, this is not a regime looking to hand him the reins. Were you surprised Ewers passed up on potentially a big NIL deal?
I just want to quickly say Malik Willis in his debut, 4 for 5, 43 yards. So he makes his debut. Quinn Ewers 1 for 5 so far. And remember I said yesterday, Kevin, that Cade Klubnik won a Texas State high school championship? He beat Quinn Ewers. Actually, he beat Quinn Ewers' high school. So just going back, and they got Cade Klubnik playing for the Jets tonight. This isn't even a hot take. If they didn't push Quinn Ewers out for Arch Manning, Texas probably win the championship last year. They were that close. They were right there 2 years ago with Quinn Ewers, right? That Ohio State game. They had the ball on the freaking 4-yard line. They were right there. And what it was, a fumble, and it'll get returned and whatever, and the rest was history. They wanted Arch Manning to take over, right? Arch Manning sat behind at first. It was all right, he's going to learn. And then it was one of those, Ewers never really officially declared. Right? It was sort of you know what? Maybe I'll come back if you guys pay me. And they never did. They were like, thanks, Quinn. Yeah, hey, welcome. We're going to Arch Manning. Right? It was all right, Arch waited a year. We're going to Arch Manning now. And you saw last year, Arch actually kept Texas back. He held them back. If Quinn Ewers is still there. And then I was somewhat surprised, Kevin, that he fell as far as he did. And this is one thing, guys, that I bring up all the time. If you look at the number one quarterback odds taken, it's laughable after. You get a real laugh about it after. Quinn Ewers was on this list before, Kevin. Carson Beck was on the list, right? Carson Beck was the favorite to be the number one pick in the NFL draft. Arch Manning was the favorite last year at this time to be the number one pick in the NFL draft. So it's kind of funny how things will change. And here we are right now. Quinn Ewers, he'll be a backup quarterback. He'll hang on for he'll hang on for years and make some money as a backup, Kevin, but he'll never be a starter in the NFL.
I got to tell you though, Gabe, I actually think that's one of the more interesting concepts or ideas is what Texas would have been last year if they kept Quinn Ewers. And I think it's totally fair to say they could have split or they could have won one of the games that they lost, and that would have been enough to get him in the playoff. So I'm not going to disagree with you. I guess the pushback is Arch really needed last season to potentially be the guy they want him to be this season. I don't know.
I was surprised that Arch even
Texas for this year.
I was surprised that Arch was willing to sit. And I guess it showed the patience and the discipline of the Manning family.
Guys, he's not leaving. For the record, Gabe, sorry. They don't think he's leaving.
Even this year.
The Todd McShays who know the Manning family swear up and down this is not Arch's last season at Texas, which is a big reason that none of these NFL teams have a prayer to get Sark out of Texas. He's not leaving if Arch is staying. After maybe a different conversation.
The grandfather said that last year. No one believed him. We probably should have listened, huh? He said, I see Arch and all this NFL talk. He goes, he's not going anywhere to the NFL. He goes, he might even play college 4 years. He said, he goes, I don't believe him. NFL.
I believe him.
You're like, NFL?
A lot of money.
Me, Ohtani is the MVP, even if he pitches 15 games a year and that's it. The guy's the best hitter in baseball, or one of them, and pitches, even if it's 15 games a year and he's great, sign me up. I think he still wins, but I think I like the other investments there.
Yeah, I would say we're in total agreement on this. Otani's going to win the award, but that doesn't mean that A, he's a good investment at this point, and B, another player isn't a good investment.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
What Michigan have to play versus Penn State is insane. Like, instead of Big Ten teams worrying about SEC and all that, like, Michigan fans should not be happy about what Matt Campbell gets to walk into. James Franklin's got to be kicking himself. Penn State do not play Oregon, Indiana, or Ohio State. They avoided the entire Big Three of the it's incredible.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
You know, the dark days are ahead for the Warriors. And when Curry and Kerr and Draymond all leave, what are we going to be looking at that franchise that has been a mainstay of the NBA, you know, the face of the NBA and NBA playoffs for so long? Where are they going to be? So I see no issue with them bringing Draymond back. Why not? You have one last go at things with the trio that they still have there. But I see this as a very long season.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Just can't win the big game. He can't get us in the big game. Well, we got to let him go now because we're tired. We'll keep the quarterback. So, you know what I've been saying? Okay, you kept the quarterback. Guess what? Mr. Lamar Jackson, it's on you now.
Hey,
It's on you.
Absolutely.
Right? It's on Lamar.
It is. It is totally on him now and the new coaching staff there.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
All right, guys, 10s are wild. Hold on a minute. Couple of score updates for everybody. Whoa. All right. We start here. Bailey Zappi, which I don't really understand. Bailey Zappi is a part of the reason I played the over. Bailey Zappi came out, throws a pick six, and on the next drive, throws another interception. So a nightmare showing, Gabe, from Bailey Zappi.
He's
We're
killing
tied
the
up
Jets.
at 10. Tied
After
up at
Cade
10.
Klubnik. Cade Klubnik
Why
sets him
did
up with a
Klubnik
10-0
only
lead.
play so short? Cade Klubnik, this is for why did
Really,
Cade Klubnik come out so
this
early?
is his debut. Give him some, you know, and I tell you what, it was impressive. 5 of 7, 56 yards.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. Why not give him a couple of more drives? So, yeah, Bailey Zappi's been a disaster. He's 1 for 3 with 2 interceptions, and suddenly we got a tie football game, and suddenly the Jets are the Jets. And I was happy about my Miami Dolphin pick, and suddenly they're losing 10-7 to Washington. So, welcome to the preseason, everybody. A lot of football left. We are on the Broncos, and we are on the under. 17-0 for the Broncos. Been a dominant performance for them.
Yeah, that one is the one that I'm kind of not even really checking in on. I am checking in on Commanders Dolphins, Gabe. A 22-yard broken run here by Robert Henry Jr. of UTSA fame. Puts the Commanders up 10-7 now in this football game.
Quinn Ewers is the one killing
favor.
us here. Yeah, he's the one killing us. 1 for 5. We got to get Quinn out of here. I don't want him playing in the second half. Go to the Cam Miller kid from North Dakota. Okay, I've had enough.
He's a good free. He's in your Haynes King mold, Cam Miller, right? That's right up your alley for what you're looking for.
Scrappy kid, winner. Yeah, he's a winner. He's won a lot of games. You know what I mean?
He's around.
A good prospect. Yeah, he'll do whatever it takes to get that first down. He'll have good cohesion with his teammates. I assume he gets along with his teammates in practice, type of deal. The guys, the practice roster and the third and fourth stringers that he works with in practice. Sam Hartman, 6 for 10 for Washington. Some little Notre Dame love for you there. Sam Hartman, 6 at 10.
Yeah, absolutely. Gabe, I want to throw a baseball game your way. I'm sure you know where I'm going with this. I'm actually a little annoyed.
Wow.
But the Dodgers.
What, Edwin Diaz? I don't want to brag. God, this has been frustrating.
Well, can I tell you what's frustrating for me, Gabe? I feel like I used to bet a lot of Dodger unders that the books didn't see coming. That party might be over. I didn't think I was going to get a 7.5 here tonight in Yamamoto Gasser. Dodger games are not really 7.5s. That's kind of a rarity. So once again, I'm kind of left with nothing to do here. I'm excited for the game. It's a big series. We've talked about it. What are you looking at here in this Dodger-Brewer game tonight?
Big game. So just for the record, last night the Dodgers had a 4-2 lead going into the ninth inning. It was an impressive game coming off the sweep of the Royals. Everyone was feeling pretty good about themselves in Dodger Nation. And then, boom, Edwin Diaz blows another save. Diaz has struggled since he's come back.
11
he really has.
ERA.
Yeah, it's been bad. So I'm not going to overreact and panic about it, right? It all matters what Diaz does in October. Yet it's been frustrating this week for Dodger bettors that twice in the Kansas City series, they were up by like multiple runs late in the game, and their bullpen gave up runs. And the Dodgers ended up winning by 1 run. And then finally they win 4-2, ironically, when Eric Lauer's on the hill. They cover the 1.5 in that game. And then last night, you didn't have to do the run line even, but last night you're up 4-2. You're going to win the baseball game. Next thing you know, you lose 5-4. So tonight, I think this is a big game for the Dodgers to sort of get back on track here tonight. I think it's a reasonable number. I mean, you could go both ways. You could argue you're getting a great price with the Brew Crew here, but I'm going to be on the Dodgers tonight. I'm taking the Dodgers minus 175.
Yeah, we'll see what they do here late night. I will, just because I don't want to forget it again. We always put these picks on the board once or twice, but I'm on the over in Sacramento. A's Rangers. I think the book's got a little cute here in this Gage Jump Kumar Rockers start. Rockers capable of some bad stuff. Gage Jump is someone who, look, he's young, and I'm sure he's happy to be in the league, but this guy's going to want to get out of, Sacramento, Oakland, Vegas. He's got a 6 ERA at home. He's got a 2.6 ERA on the road. Only 4 innings difference. Sample size is real both ways. Kid's good. He's got stuff, but he can't pitch in this ballpark. So I got a 9.5 here at even money. I expect runs tonight here, Gabe, in A's Rangers. Excited for that West Coast baseball. Still scoreless in Yankees Blue Jays. Yep. And, one thing I noticed.
I got to jump in on the Jays now. I'm just going to say, I'm getting plus 135 in a scoreless game, and the whole advantage tonight for the Yankees was the fact that Cole was pitching. So this game's going on right now. There's only been 4 hits in the ball game, Kevin, but I'm just going to throw it out there. Go on. I'm going to get the bet in. I'm taking the Blue Jays plus 135 right now.
Yeah, the point I was going to make is, because he just came up, and it's not more important than the team winning. And yes, he does have a 6-game hitting streak. But if he doesn't hit a home run in a 7-game homestand, like very quietly, I feel, Gabe, you were like, oh, I'm going to have to bet it every game. And then by the 2nd game, you were like, I actually do not need to bet it every game.
Yeah, well, I've lost like 5 times now. It's been a few times. Yeah, and it's like, I wasn't in love with the pitching situation tonight. It won't be talked about as much if they go 5-2 or whatnot on this stand, right? As long as they're winning baseball games, but it really is amazing. Yeah, it really is amazing. I mean, he's come close. He's put a couple to the warning track, right to the wall and stuff. He does have that 6-game hit streak going right now, but this is a big game for both teams, but more so for the Blue Jays. They've been hot. They took 3 or 4 from the Red Sox. No shame in, you're not going to win every game, but it's sort of like betting. You lose a bet, no shame. You want to win your next bet, right? You know what I mean? You want to get a new winning streak going. So if you're the Blue Jays, you don't want this to turn into, wow, we can only take 1 or 2 in this series suddenly or whatnot, right? You got to win this series. You got to find a way of winning this game for the Jays. So we just jumped in, plus 135. We're going to the top of the 5th inning, scoreless baseball game. Total 4.5 now.
Some quick other baseball updates. I thought that the flat 7 was a little light in that Guardians-Padres game. Your worst case is a push. That thing's 3-3 now with a Fernando Tatis home run. And then White Sox.
How about our under in Atlanta?
Detroit, 8-3.
Oh. Wow.
8-3 White Sox on the night.
Wow. D-backs Braves won.
For me, Ohtani is the MVP, even if he pitches 15 games a year and that's it. The guy's the best hitter in baseball, or one of them, and pitches, even if it's 15 games a year and he's great. Sign me up. I think he still wins, but I think I like the other investments there.
Yeah, I would say we're in total agreement on this. Ohtani's going to win the award, but that doesn't mean that A, he's a good investment at this point, and B, another player isn't a good investment.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
What Michigan have to play versus Penn State is insane. Like, instead of Big Ten teams worrying about SEC and all that, like, Michigan fans should not be happy about what Matt Campbell gets to walk into. James Franklin's got to be kicking himself. Penn State do not play Oregon, Indiana, or Ohio State. They avoided the entire Big Three of the it's incredible.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
You know, the dark days are ahead for the Warriors. And when Curry and Kerr and Draymond all leave, what are we going to be looking at that franchise that has been a mainstay of the NBA, you know, the face of the NBA and NBA playoffs for so long? Where are they going to be? So I see no issue with them bringing Draymond back. Why not? You have one last go at things with the trio that they still have there. But I see this as a very long season.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Just can't win the big game. He can't get us in the big game. Well, we got to let him go now because we're tired. We'll keep the quarterback. So, you know what I've been saying? Okay, you kept the quarterback. Guess what? Mr. Lamar Jackson, it's on you now.
Hey,
It's on you.
Here. Absolutely.
Right? It's on Lamar.
It is. It is totally on him now and the new coaching staff there.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
All right, back to the mix on a Friday night, man. We're rolling along here. Great to be with everybody. There's a lot of NFL tomorrow. I want to pop over. We've done this here and there just to kind of see how, opinions are developing. We've talked about some of these totals. The one game I do and I don't want to talk about is Giants-Vikings. It's actually starting to bother me a little bit because when we initially were talking about it, I couldn't have agreed with Gabe more. Fade Harbaugh, new spot, Minnesota, great quarterback situation for preseason. And then I'm like, wait a minute. The greatest preseason coach in the history of football in his first game with a new team is a dog at home? It's one of those, Gabe, I hope I'm busy at like 12:30 and I forget to get the pick in. And I check in at halftime and whatever the score is, the score is. Because I'm going back and forth.
I like the Vikings in this spot, but it is fascinating that the best preseason coach in NFL history, ATS-wise, is an underdog in his first game. And I don't know, it goes to show the respect. And people call, the big narrative with this, there's a quarterback battle going on in Minnesota. Well, there really isn't anymore, but the number has not changed, Kevin, which I found to be fascinating. Did not move still. So you've got Kyler Murray, J.J. McCarthy, Carson Wentz, and Max Brosmer. It's a pretty nice quarterback rotation here, and I think they're going to give J.J. McCarthy an opportunity to play here, right? I mean,
they should.
Kyler really didn't fully blow anyone away in the preseason, so I'm not saying that J.J. got screwed or anything like that, but they'll want J.J. to play and get some confidence, and J.J. is going to be fired up for this. He's playing for his career, right? Like when you get put back to be a backup, you will get opportunities again, but they're limited. And when you do, you've got to play well. You say, it's a preseason game. Yeah, well, that's all he has right now, right? So he has to show people like, oh, damn, man, you look pretty good in there. Right? Well, and then it's like, well, Kyler must have looked really good because McCarthy looked really good yesterday. It matters. So, like, JJ is going to bring it here. I don't know about Carson Wentz. Do they even play him? I mean, I don't know what they're going to do about him. They get Max Brosmer in here. It's hard to love it just because of the fact that Harbaugh is so good, but I will be on the Vikings. You brought up the Browns and the Bears situation. Browns laying 3.5. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm taking the Buffalo Bills in this spot. Digging into it a little bit more. We talked about how the teams that played in the Hall of Fame game have an advantage and stuff, but I think the fact, Kevin, that they're opening up their new stadium is different. And Joe Brady, so it's the first game in a new stadium with a new coach. And I really thought it was poignant that Joe Brady said this, that he said, we have a new stadium, we have a new coach, a new team, we have a new, he goes, there's a new everything here. And it's kind of like, well, there's not really a new everything here. McDermott's gone. It's the exact same damn team. It's not, there's nothing new about this. But it was almost like there's a cleansing. You know what I'm saying? And Brady didn't hide it. He basically said, Josh is playing, and he was asked, well, why? And he answered, we have a new offense, a new system, and he goes, we need to play. And he brought up, he goes, we have a new stadium, we have fans coming here, and I was like, all right, I kind of see where we're going here with this right now. So, I think the Bills do get it done on their home field, minus 160 on the money line. Browns and Bears, I think this is a first half Browns play. And then as the game goes on, Kevin, I don't know if I want to lay 3.5 in this game. Do you?
No, I do not. I told you yesterday, that's the one where the total to me, and 40.5, I'm not saying that they're sleeping on it, but I'm not sure they can post it high enough. Ben Johnson likes to be loud, man, and honestly, I think it's fun. I think you're supposed to not like Ben Johnson, but I think it's good for us. I think it's good for the sport. Him saying they want to be the highest scoring offense in league history, and I don't think that means coming out in preseason and scoring 11 points. He's going to let Tyson Bagent rip it. He's going to let Case Keenum rip it here in this game. And the Browns, that's the only option they have. It's not just the Watson-Sanders quarterback battle. It's Dylan Gabriel fighting for his NFL life.
And the Bears' defense isn't very good either. Word out of camp is, too, they've been getting lit up a lot.
I'm sure they have been. That doesn't surprise me. I'm sure it doesn't surprise you. We're going to talk more about this. I want to mention something just quickly. I'm going to look a little more into this at the break. We're at the half game, Gabe, of the Wings Fever game. I saw Caitlin Clark limp to the locker room. Now, there was about 30 seconds left. I don't know if that was, I'm getting pulled here anyway, or if Clark just re-injured something. Dallas up 37-35 in that game. We'll talk about it a little bit more after a quick break on SportsGrid.
For me, Ohtani is the MVP, even if he pitches 15 games a year and that's it. The guy's the best hitter in baseball, or one of them, and pitches, even if it's 15 games a year and he's great, sign me up. I think he still wins, but I think I like the other investments there.
Yeah, I would say we're in total agreement on this. Ohtani's going to win the award, but that doesn't mean that A, he's a good investment at this point, and B, another player isn't a good investment.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
What Michigan have to play versus Penn State is insane. Like, instead of Big Ten teams worrying about SEC and all that, like, Michigan fans should not be happy about what Matt Campbell gets to walk into. James Franklin's got to be kicking himself. Penn State do not play Oregon, Indiana, or Ohio State. They avoided the entire Big Three of the it's incredible.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
The dark days are ahead for the Warriors. And when Curry and Kerr and Draymond all leave, what are we going to be looking at that franchise that has been a mainstay of the NBA, the face of the NBA and NBA playoffs for so long? Where are they going to be? So I see no issue with them bringing Draymond back. Why not? You have one last go at things with the trio that they still have there. But I see this as a very long season.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Just can't win the big game. He can't get us in the big game. Well, we got to let him go now because we're tired. We'll keep the quarterback. So, you know what I've been saying? Okay, you kept the quarterback. Guess what? Mr. Lamar Jackson, it's on you now.
Hey,
It's on you.
Absolutely.
Right? It's on Lamar.
It is totally on him now and the new coaching staff there.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
Back with everybody on SportsGrid. So just a quick WNBA update. It says that Caitlin Clark did go to the locker room. It was labeled foot. So that's different than this back injury that has her on the injury report before every single game. Clark with 9 points is actually leading the way for the Fever, but in a very, very low-scoring basketball game relative to the total here. The Fever down 2 are still favorites in the game, but about 2.5, 3.5 here. The question becomes, if Clark's going to miss some time and you can get live WNBA player props, is Kelsey Mitchell an absolute smash with just the workload that could be coming her way? I think that's interesting. It's also interesting, Gabe, if she's going to miss this game, are the Dallas Wings a bit of a smash already leaving here?
Well, let's not forget Dallas are shorthanded as well. No Shepard, no Fudd, but you called it. And you know that Paige was going to come to play tonight. She's put up 12, 6 of 13 in the first. I do agree with you. I'm on Kelsey Mitchell over 2.5 made threes. She's 0 for 2. She's only taken 2 attempts. She's going to have to get, the Dallas have done a good job of slowing this game down. I'm kind of inclined to believe, Kevin, that Dallas are due to win one of these. You and I have talked about them losing these close games, and they're not going to lose every one of these close games, are they? Now, it's sort of the gamble, because what happens if Caitlin doesn't come out for the second? I mean, how much does this number change?
The number moves, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's sort of a gamble. Is she coming back or not? And they'll err on the side of caution more than recklessness.
As they should. Oh,
and
gosh.
Suddenly, that Toronto game on Tuesday, suddenly in peril, Kevin. Oh, those people that bought tickets to see her. She gets hurt the game before. Actually, they got the Dream on Sunday. They got Angel Reese on Sunday.
She's going to need to rest. We're going to need Caitlin to rest. Tuesday's too important.
They're not bringing her back with the Atlanta game.
Tuesday's too important. Come on, man.
Let me see the Indiana Fever. Isn't she playing Angel Reese like on Sunday?
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. Fever Dream. Yeah, Fever at the Dream. Sunday, national televised game. 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock Eastern.
Now I have to root for her to come back. Nothing can get in the way of Fever Tempo Tuesday, August 18th.
Yeah, you're not worried about the big Fever Dream matchup against Angel Reese.
Relatively, I couldn't care less. Gabe, I care so much about Fever. It's not a joke. I would sacrifice her. She comes back, lights up Dallas. I lose my plus 8.5 just to get the chance to see that total at full strength in the Toronto game. Because
what about the 167.5 now? It's low. It was 185.5, guys. So it's 18 points off the original number at the half right now.
You're at
it closed at 185.5.
72 points. So what do you need here? 90.
I don't think it gets there. I think this might be one of these weird games. It's kind of correlated, right?
95.
Dallas liked the way things are going. If Caitlin's not there, they're going to try to just chop this thing up.
Gabe, the two teams are combined 6 of 31 from 3.
That's what I was going to say, though. Like,
if that gets a little bit better, this thing could fly a little.
Like, Dallas are 4 for 21 from 3. That's unbelievable. You know what's amazing to me, though, Kevin, that the Fever have only taken 10 3-point shots. And they're 2 for 10. That's amazing that the Indiana Fever have only hit 2 3-point shots combined in this game.
Yeah.
Is Sophia Cunningham is 1 for 2, and Tashia Harris is 1 for 1. Caitlin Clark 0 for 4 from 3. Kelsey Mitchell 0 for 2 from 3.
I don't hate a live over. Just listen, I understand it. It's not going to get to the pregame number, but for a Fever game, this is very, very low. This is very low.
I'm on the over, and that money's gone. And I'm on Alyssa Thomas. I'm on Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell over 2.5 made threes, which would kind of help me if Caitlin doesn't come back.
Yeah,
I still think she could hit this anyways, but if Caitlin doesn't come back, Mitchell's going to bomb these threes in a second.
Yeah. I'm thinking of playing a little live over here, Gabe. I don't think that's a bad bet. as somebody on Dallas too, in a way, if you tell me this doesn't get through the live number, I think that means Dallas covered it comfortably. So it's not a hedge. It's just, I almost kind of, people might say this is bad process. We could have that argument, but I think I'm almost free rolling a little bit here on a 166.5. I think this is a good opportunity to jump in.
I don't dispute it from a numbers perspective. Guys, that's why I pointed out. And you're getting a difference of 18.5 right now. How often are the sportsbooks wrong by like 20 points?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so you're getting a big window here. Like Kevin said, it doesn't have to hit the 185 for you to win. It's just got to get to 168 now, which is a pretty low number for the modern WNBA 168, especially a fever game. And you say, oh, well, Caitlin's out, but Caitlin was out last year. They're used to playing without her, to be honest.
Yeah, they don't run. It's not, yeah. Caitlin doesn't, when Caitlin's out,
Caitlin's not there and they're not going to score. It's like, no, it just changes the way they
play like
score.
The Drake Bulldogs. This isn't a Ben McCollum team all of a sudden. Like, there's juice.
All right, so looks like Caitlin got stepped on. Thank God it was a white girl who stepped on her foot. Otherwise, like, this would be a story. I'm just being real. I see it now. I'm like, oh, thank God it's a white chick that stepped on her.
Oh, that's funny.
It's sad but true that's what came to my mind. And I'm like, oh no. I was like, let me see how this happened. Like, oh no, like, don't, if it's a sister that somehow jammed up Caitlin's ankle, like, oh boy, you gave the cable news networks content for the weekend. But it's actually Caitlin. Looks like it was kind of Caitlin's fault. Caitlin kind of like just stepped on someone and twisted her ankle a bit. Let's see here. I'm trying to see if she's going to be coming back though. And let me see the limp. Kevin, that's a pretty serious limp, bro.
Yeah.
She wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to walk it off into the room. No, like she was like hobbling.
Did you, by the way, just since we're talking about this game, did you see I don't even know if controversy is the right word, but the conversation around the WNBA on Ion graphic for this basketball game where Caitlin Clark wasn't on the poster?
Yeah.
I don't really know what's going on because I wanted to defend it and say Clark and Boston were questionable. They put Lexi Hall and Raven Johnson on. The problem is for Dallas, they put Paige and Arike.
Yeah.
Why would Kelsey Mitchell not be on the ground?
Like, that was my take.
You have to go out of your way.
Caitlin, if it's not Caitlin, it's like, okay, you can argue, listen. And listen, you and I know, we're on the same page with this. I feel like I got like a Harvard debater sometimes. I got to take a couple of minutes to compile how to come back at people with this. Right? Like, hey, chill out, all right? Kelsey Mitchell scores like 20. She's the best player on the team. But it wasn't even Kelsey Mitchell, like you said.
I don't understand.
So it's like bizarro world. You're right. That
poster game. She hasn't checked into the game.
Yeah, like it's kind of you kind of got to go out of your way. Like, it's not like, listen, no, like the other one's an all-star. We went with the leading scorer, right? No, like, it's like, do you guys going out of your way not to show her?
It's bizarre. It's so.
It is.
And if they put Kelsey and Aaliyah on there, you and I would not bring it up. It's like, listen,
we
guys.
We could totally have an argument about it. Yeah, I'd say, hey, listen, Kelsey Mitchell scored 20 or more points in 22 straight games. Shut up. She deserves to be on the poster.
Raven Johnson. They did
but
that.
They didn't put Cunningham either. Like, God blame would know what him on her.
Gabe, about 3 years ago on the GPD. Yeah.
Someone in that network desk is an anti, for sure. Like, I can't deny
that. Or they knew it'd go viral.
Good call.
For me, Ohtani is the MVP, even if he pitches 15 games a year and that's it. The guy's the best hitter in baseball, or one of them, and pitches, even if it's 15 games a year and he's great, sign me up. I think he still wins, but I think I like the other investments there.
Yeah, I would say we're in total agreement on this. Ohtani's going to win the award, but that doesn't mean that A, he's a good investment at this point, and B, another player isn't a good investment.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
What Michigan have to play versus Penn State is insane. Like, instead of Big Ten teams worrying about SEC and all that, like, Michigan fans should not be happy about what Matt Campbell gets to walk into. James Franklin's got to be kicking himself. Penn State do not play Oregon, Indiana, or Ohio State. They avoided the entire Big Three of the it's incredible.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
You know, the dark days are ahead for the Warriors. And when Curry and Kerr and Draymond all leave, what are we going to be looking at that franchise that has been a mainstay of the NBA, you know, the face of the NBA and NBA playoffs for so long? Where are they going to be? So I see no issue with them bringing Draymond back. Why not? You have one last go at things with the trio that they still have there. But I see this as a very long season.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Just can't win the big game. He can't get us in the big game. Well, we got to let him go now because we're tired. We'll keep the quarterback. So, you know what I've been saying? Okay, you kept the quarterback. Guess what? Mr. Lamar Jackson, it's on you now.
Hey, absolutely.
It's on you.
Absolutely.
Right? It's on Lamar.
It is. It is totally on him now and the new coaching staff there.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
Okay, guys, here on SportsGrid, following the live action, just quickly, halftime scores, 24-0. Broncos up on the Falcons. Denver, or Atlanta rather, were pushing for their first points of the game, and then it was a 97-yard pick six by Jahdae Barron, last year's first-round pick. So that's pretty much how that game goes. Total, we'll see where it lands, but the side not in doubt, Gabe, in Broncos. Falcons, 13-10 Jets, 17-7 Commanders, and that's where our preseason scores are right now. And one more update, Caitlin Clark on the court.
Whoa.
The Indiana Fever. I am surprised as well. As well.
Playing on Sunday, and for the record, the total's 168.5 right now.
Ooh, so
now that Caitlin's in here, this is the play. I'm going to jump in, Kevin. I'm jumping in on the over 160, 166.5 right now. It's got to open up.
I think it's the right move. I like the over here. I think we're going to get some points. I think we're going to get plenty of points, in fact.
I was just going to say, great opening drive for Ottawa. Moving the ball down the field. Quarterback's like 6 for 6. Picking up yards. They just fumbled. Oh, it was intercepted because the wide receiver tipped it in the air, whatever, same thing. And returned. That's why you're 0-8. Man, like, bad teams do dumb things. There it is. I thought, wow, we're going to put some points on. It was a nice, crisp opening drive, it looked like, for them. All right, total just went to 163.5 here. Yankees took a 1-0 lead on the Blue Jays.
Did they?
Yeah.
Let's see that. What happened there? Trent Grisham stays hot with a home run. Yeah.
Bottom of 6. Total 3.5, man. It's getting light. It's getting light.
If you get 1-1.
Yeah.
I understand it if you play it. As somebody on the under, I'm happy about where I'm at, but I get it if you play it. How about this game? We haven't mentioned this. I played Boston tonight, money line. Pittsburgh Pirates up 7-2. Red Sox have the first 2 guys on. This is kind of a do or die spot for Boston. And what I mean by that just is, I mean that in terms of this game, right? Not for the season. However, if they do lose this game, like, we're really not going to be like, oh, can they win the American League East? And all of a sudden, it's like, are they in a bit of a free fall? Like, are the Red Sox as good as they look?
Peaking too early, Kevin. It's a long season.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Peaking at the right time. They went on this incredible run, and now reality is set in a little bit. But I'm glad you brought this up. it sets up for tomorrow's game. Even more pressure on Skeens with Pittsburgh winning tonight. Right? It's like, all right, look, we just beat the Red Sox last night. Now it's your turn. Sonny Gray on the hill for the Red Sox. Sonny Gray and the Red Sox are favorites. Minus 125. And you know what? Actually, I see Jones listed right now. So my bad. Is it supposed to be Skeens tomorrow?
Oh,
Jones is listed right now.
Jones was pitching. Let's see here. Yeah, I see Jones for tomorrow. I see Skeens for Sunday. Is what I see.
So he's no, okay. So it's going to be. I thought it was Saturday, so it's going to be Sunday. So I thought we had a line for it.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see how Skeens performs.
The thing is, Gabe,
I just punched Skeens' name in here, Kevin. It's amazing. Like how different 6 months will make. Like everything is negative.
Mm-hmm.
I just punched his name in because I want to see push back a day or whatnot. So it was my bad. It's Sunday, not Saturday. But first thing I see, pitchers manager Kelly talks Skeens struggles. League is adjusting. New York Times, Paul Skeens struggling. Is there a flaw in his arsenal? SportsGrid in the headlines. Paul Skeens struggles analyzed with velocity for him. Barstool, unflattering shirtless photo.
Yeah.
Yahoo Sports, is Paul Skeens out of shape? Like I said, here's and then you get the baseball analytic guys, fastballs, blah, blah, velocity. Nothing this guy needs a positive. And it's pretty crazy, too, because his last start was pretty good, Kevin. But they took him out so early, no one was impressed by it.
Well, because the last thing he did
and the
was
velocity
have a home run
wasn't there either.
Favor.
Yeah, and
he wasn't pitching well. You know that we were he wasn't pitching well. Which is why that reporter it still bothers me. It's still Paul's most efficient start we've seen. He got pulled at 65 pitches and said he should have been pulled. Stop complimenting him.
It was basically saying he didn't suck.
It's like, Paul, you looked awesome today. It's like, really?
Paul,
because they actually robbed a home run.
If I was Skeens, I'd be thinking, you condescending bastard. In my head, I'd be thinking I'm Paul Skeens. I just got pulled after 65 pitches out of mercy, and you're telling me how good I was. Yeah, okay. I know.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. It's still dry. I don't you know what, Gabe, to that point, if you're the odds makers, what do you really do with Paul Skeens' props when he just got pulled in a game at 65 pitches? Full numbers?
That's why I want to see his numbers.
Props?
What is his props? 7.5? Is he going to get there? Suddenly he's got a cold Red Sox offense. This Red Sox offense has been struggling for the last week and a half.
Good point. It's a good point.
I wish it was tomorrow so we had the numbers up. That's why I looked. But I'm like, no, it's Jones. My bad. So
it's interesting, Gabe, though, could the Red Sox break through?
Kevin.
Yeah. You know what the problem is, too? If you look at the touchdowns they're allowing, it kind of shows that they're basically, Dan Quinn, to your point, usually preseason, take it or leave it. It's almost as if Miami's out. We don't want to be hearing them. We're good as well. And actually, we're more we have no.
Which I don't understand, to be honest. I don't and I get it that, coaches take the inter squad scrimmages more serious and the practices and the preseason games. But fine if you're a really good team with a pedigree.
For a new regime.
I never understand guys bad football teams that don't care about the preseason and play holier than thou about it. It's you guys suck. It wouldn't kill you to try to get a little confidence going and look at the difference with Arizona. We came into this thing, and Arizona might be the worst team in the NFL. And their schedule still is hard. I saw today a feature on TV. I saw, today on ESPN, and I didn't even think they were stupid talking about it. They were like, does Arizona have some of the best skill position players in the NFL? I'm like, yeah. They do. Yes.
For me, Ohtani is the MVP, even if he pitches 15 games a year and that's it. The guy's the best hitter in baseball, or one of them, and pitches, even if it's 15 games a year and he's great. Sign me up. I think he still wins, but I think I like the other investments there.
Yeah, I would say we're in total agreement on this. Otani's going to win the award, but that doesn't mean that A, he's a good investment at this point, and B, another player isn't a good investment.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
What Michigan have to play versus Penn State is insane. Like, instead of Big Ten teams worrying about SEC and all that, like, Michigan fans should not be happy about what Matt Campbell gets to walk into. James Franklin's got to be kicking himself. Penn State do not play Oregon, Indiana, or Ohio State. They avoided the entire Big Three of the it's incredible.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
You know, the dark days are ahead for the Warriors. And when Curry and Kerr and Draymond all leave, what are we going to be looking at that franchise that has been a mainstay of the NBA, you know, the face of the NBA and NBA playoffs for so long? Where are they going to be? So I see no issue with them bringing Draymond back. Why not? You have one last go at things with the trio that they still have there. But I see this as a very long season.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Just can't win the big game. He can't get us in the big game. Well, we got to let him go now because we're tired. We'll keep the quarterback. So, you know what I've been saying? Okay, you kept the quarterback. Guess what? Mr. Lamar Jackson, it's on you now.
Hey, absolutely.
It's on you.
Absolutely.
Right? It's on Lamar.
It is. It is totally on him now and the new coaching staff there.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
All right, back with you guys right here on SportsGrid. A little three ball being traded Page into Kelsey Mitchell, which is good for Gabe, as that puts Mitchell on the board from beyond the arc. That is a 52-48 game right now. But NFL-wise, guys, 17-7, Washington still leading Miami here. We're obviously well into the backup portion of this program. A 13-10 lead for the Jets on Tampa Bay, but Jalen Daniels of Kansas, famous, checked in, so we'll see what he can bring to the table here. Major League Baseball-wise is where the rest of my night is going to take place. I really do like the over in A's Rangers. I think at a 9.5 here, books got a little cute. You can find an expensive 9 if you're more comfortable with it, and I understand that, but I think this game's a bit of a rocket ship, more so 12, 13 runs, what we've seen this year in games in Sacramento. And then I laid a -130 price on the San Francisco Giants. Kyle Freeland has been much better for Colorado over his last handful of starts. Good. He's not good. He's a bad pitcher. He's been a bad pitcher his whole career. And if the books are now starting to wonder if they should price Kyle Freeland with respect on the road, I'm going to be there to pick up the pieces. So give me the San Francisco Giants on the money line.
I can't believe that we're nearly done right now. Speaking of rocket ships, this show is just absolutely flown by tonight. Oh, God. He had him wide open in the end zone. He overthrew him. He was literally wide open. I thought we were going to have a touchdown in the CFL game. All right, so I'm going to go with the Dodgers here tonight in the late night hours. -177. They blew the 4-2 lead last night. Diaz came in. Diaz really been struggling, but we got Yamamoto on the hill here tonight. I know it's the Brewers, but Yamamoto at -175 is a fair enough price at home. WNBA, Kevin, I'm going to go with Malonga tonight to score 20 or more points. This is actually a winnable game for Seattle, but I don't really trust them. Portland aren't great defensively. This is the 4th time that Portland and Seattle have played this year, and Malonga is top like 20 in all 3 of the games. She's been on fire as of late, so I'm going to go with Malonga 19.5 over 19.5 points -130. And you know how I love international and different basketball tournaments. We got into the TBT tournament, Kevin. This is sort of like an international TBT tournament. It's very random. It's called the William Jones Cup. It's in Singapore. And there's teams from like the Chinese League, the Filipino League, the Korean League. There are national teams like Jordan, Malaysia, the Chinese Taipei, whatever. There's a bunch of national teams playing. And UC Irvine, kind of weird. And UC Irvine are in the tournament. And our boy Olivier Giroud, 7'9" monster, of course, with the Florida Gators. Now he transferred to UC Irvine, but he's going to play on UC Irvine. Made his debut last night, played 16 minutes, 9 points, 11 boards, like very impactful right away. They play again tonight. I bet against them last night. I saw Chinese Taipei. They played against the the NBL, the National Basketball League. It's the Australian Pro League. Chinese Taipei played against their all-star team, and it was 86-83, and they're grown men. So that was a pretty impressive win for Irvine last night to win by 21 against these guys. So tonight, Irvine are playing the country of Jordan, and they're like 20.5 points in the game. I think it's going to be right around the point spread, but I think the total is a little light at 158.5. Little light at 158.5. So look for Jordan and UC Irvine over 158.5. Game, I think, is at like might be like 3 a.m. East Coast time type thing. It's overnight, whatever, but it's on tonight. So and I think UC Irvine don't cover. I think Jordan are going to just squeeze in under their number. UC Irvine by 17 or so.
2 updates before we get out of here. The Blue Jays have taken the lead. Good update for Toronto. The bad update is maybe nothing. I don't have the volume on. But Vlad Jr., when he crossed home plate, looked to be, a little bit.
In distress?
Yes, exactly the way to put it, Gabe. Just something keep an eye on. That's all. That's all. 2-1 lead for Toronto. They're going to be buzzing about that, obviously. They feel fine in these low-scoring games. So we'll see. Big series that'll take place over the weekend. We will be back with all of you one step closer to football. See you then.
For me, Ohtani is the MVP, even if he pitches 15 games a year and that's it. The guy's the best hitter in baseball, or one of them, and pitches, even if it's 15 games a year and he's great, sign me up. I think he still wins, but I think I like the other investments there.
Yeah, I would say we're in total agreement on this. Ohtani's going to win the award, but that doesn't mean that A, he's a good investment at this point, and B, another player isn't a good investment.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
What Michigan have to play versus Penn State is insane. Like, instead of Big Ten teams worrying about SEC and all that, like, Michigan fans should not be happy about what Matt Campbell gets to walk into. James Franklin's got to be kicking himself. Penn State do not play Oregon, Indiana, or Ohio State. They avoided the entire Big Three of the it's incredible.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
The dark days are ahead for the Warriors. And when Curry and Kerr and Draymond all leave, what are we going to be looking at that franchise that has been a mainstay of the NBA, the face of the NBA and NBA playoffs for so long? Where are they going to be? So I see no issue with them bringing Draymond back. Why not? You have one last go at things with the trio that they still have there. But I see this as a very long season.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Just can't win the big game. He can't get us in the big game. Well, we got to let him go now because we're tired. We'll keep the quarterback. So, you know what I've been saying? Okay, you kept the quarterback. Guess what? Mr. Lamar Jackson, it's on you now.
Hey,
It's on you.
Absolutely.
Right? It's on Lamar.
It is totally on him now in the new coaching staff there.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.